Can you believe that's already been 2 years ago?
Gosh,
I mean,
longer than
is it
that,
two
I think
years,
even.
3 years?
Maybe,
Oh
I
my
think it's 3. It's, yeah, crazy.
Oh my. I know. It's just we need to do it again. But anyhow, got to know this sweet girl. And I am so thrilled for you guys to get to hear from her. And so Allie, I put it out. What do you guys want to hear from Allie? And they're like, oh, have her talk about her money mindset again. That was so good. So without further ado, this is Ambassador Diamond, Allie Antonacci from, are you from Kansas? Kansas
St.
City?
Louis. Out of
St.
St.
Louis.
Louis.
Okay. St. Louis. That's right. Just right up the road. 5 hours. All right. So you guys, here is Allie.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. And Mel, please just like interrupt and tee me up as you need me to go all over the place. It's actually my second money mindset Zoom tonight, so I'm all fired up already. So, like Mel said, yes, I'm Allie Antonacci. I'm an ambassador. This summer will be 8 years in this business. Before It Works, I was a nonprofit fundraiser. My husband was in sales. We had a 2-year-old daughter. We had the house, the cars, we were doing all the right things. We had gone to college and we were like drowning in debt. My husband's job was commission only. So on good months, it was great. And on bad months, it was not so good. So I joined this business with the goal of paying off a $10,000 credit card balance. I actually maxed out the credit card to join this business. I, grew up, upper middle class, fine. But I definitely grew up in an incredibly frugal home with a extremely frugal mother. And I'll talk about it a little bit as we go, but some of that, how you brought up, it really, really changes your money mindset. And it more deeply ingrains into your brain than you probably ever realized. So I just, I thought our American dream would just happen. You go to college, you do the things. At the end of the day, daycare costs as much as our mortgage. I had watched somebody for 9 months post about this business, and I just thought, there has got to be something else. She was posting about a $10,000 bonus. I had a $10,000 credit card balance. And I finally, after 9 months of watching her, messaged her and I said, I don't really understand what you're doing, but I think I need to do it. We met. She showed me the catalog. She kind of drew out some little charts. And I said, well, I'm going to do anything you tell me to do for the next 90 days. When I don't earn that $10,000 bonus, I'm going to quit. And you can't be mad at me. But I'm joining for that $10,000 bonus, and that's it. I didn't even know it was paid out monthly. I didn't know. I just thought I was going to get $10,000 to pay off that credit card. So I did. I jumped in. I was nervous. I definitely blocked all my family and all my coworkers from my Facebook posts at first. I didn't want people to think like, oh, are they broke? That was really my insecurity. It was not what's she doing? What are these products? I didn't want people to think, why is one of them taking on a second job? And so that there starts like, what was my money issues, right? So about 3 weeks into the business, my enroller told me I had to go to like a boot camp, It Works You green carpet type event. I said I didn't have the money. I said I didn't have a babysitter. And she said, well, you told me you would do whatever I told you to do. So she paid for my ticket. And my best friend, who was not a supporter at all, watched my daughter, and I went to that event, and I did not wear black and green, and I had my arms crossed, and I was so confused why everybody was dripping in It Works colors, and I was like, don't they all know they're here for the same reason? Like, why are they dressed like this? I was so confused. But through that day, my arms uncrossed, and I took a breath, and I did experience the culture, and Black Diamond was announced at that event. I watched ambassador speeches. I listened to Mark and Cindy and Pam, and the thing that really resonated with me the most, though, was Cami and Denise were sharing the little white chair. They were squeezed into the little chair together, and Pam was interviewing them. And she said, Cami, how did you know this business was right for you? How did you know that this is where you're supposed to be? And she said, I knew because I never wanted anyone to ever tell me when I could or could not see my kids again. And right there, my daughter was 2 and in daycare from about 6:45 in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon. I just started sobbing. And I looked at my enroller and I said, I will be on that stage next year. And I think she was kind of like, okay, like whatever. And I was like, no, watch me, because I did. I saw that executive and I saw that ambassador on that income chart. And I just was a ladder. I just was like, well, I'm just going to go. I'm here. So I'm going to go here. Like I didn't know any better. And I had zero limiting beliefs. I had zero experience in the industry. Like there was no reason for me to believe that everybody couldn't just do that, right? Just go to the top. Like, why not? There's charts, they with great products. You just, if you got some customers and some distributors, you just got to get more, right? Like to do it all. I had no concept about why it would even be hard. I just was so excited by what I had heard. I was so confident that I was going to go make $1 million. I remember Ashley Sinclair saying that at that event. She said, I'm going to go make $1 million. You coming with me or not? And I was like, yeah. And I don't really care if it takes me 2 years or 10 years, because in my current job, it's going to take me more than 20 to do it. So I'm going to go do this. And I was all in, you guys. And I was so freaking excited. And I went Ruby my first one. Then I went Emerald my next month. I went Diamond. Then I went Double in 5 months. And y'all, my checks were going up. When I first got that first Diamond check and it wasn't average, I didn't really understand why. I didn't really understand the comp plan. I went Double, still didn't understand why. Like my second month is Double. I had more volume, but my paycheck was a little less. I asked my enrollers, like, I don't know, call customer service, see if they can help you. Like, I had no clue. And that is the biggest thing I can tell you is learn the comp plan. I don't care. Stop telling yourself that you're not green enough. You don't get it. Learn it. You are capable. You're an adult. Learn it. If you are Ruby or Emerald, you need to learn it to Ruby and Emerald. That's it. Once you go Diamond, you have to understand where your money is going to come from. You have to understand how some of it is residual growth and how some of it is bonus growth. And that is what I didn't understand. I did not understand that. And I made a lot of dumb decisions that I will tell you guys about here in a second, because I didn't understand that. To make the most money in this business, you have to know where your money comes from. You have endless resources. You have endless top earners who have made videos on it. I like scream comp plan to our team all the time. And Mel, I'd love to collaborate and do one together. As I'm watching your comment, like I scream comp plan to our team all the time, because if you don't know where your money comes from, how are you going to go make more? You're not going to know how to go make more. So I went Diamond, I went Double. After I went Double, about the 35th distributor I signed was Lauren Casmatis. She's an ambassador. She's incredible. So what if I had quit at 34? What if I had been like, this is dumb, right? I signed my first true rock star runner. She took off, went Ruby in 2 months, Emerald in 3. She was doing the things. In that same 30 days, which is crazy. Now, 8 years later, I look back at my 3 longest tenured distributors were signed in that 30 days, January of 2014. Lauren Casmatis, Jenny Thomier, who, if you don't know her, she's a presidential and she is incredible, and Amy Spence, who I feel like everyone knows because she's just loud and Amy. And Amy Spence went ambassador in 13 months. So I signed them all in 1 month. Crazy. So they're all starting to take off and do their things. Some fast, all different paces. And I'm getting ready. I'm just trying to build my husband a Diamond to go Triple. And my check goes up. And I'm like, great. Yeah, of course it went up because I'm building this new leg. And then the month I went Double to Triple, you guys, my check went up $8,000. Insert income disclosure. It absolutely took hard work. It's not typical, whatever. $8,000 raise. It was insane. And I just thought, oh, well, I went Double to Triple. So that's just what happens. And then the next month, my check jumped $5,000 and then 4,000 more. And then the month I went presidential, it jumped 10,000 more. And I just thought that that's what happened. I thought that's the kind of money everyone made. I had no idea that about 80% of my check was one-time cab bonuses, because I didn't know the comp plan. So I didn't know that these teams were having massive exponential growth. They were teaching everybody to run their auto ship. They were teaching everyone to never miss a fast start, which I will tell you all, if you want to make the most money in your business, every single person on your team needs to run an auto ship, and every single person needs to never miss a fast start. The entire organization will make more money if you do those two things. So I did, of course, I had taught them that. So they were teaching their teams that. So I didn't realize that while I was having these massive exponential jumps in my paycheck, that it wasn't normal or where that money was coming from. Remember how I told you I was at that event and I said I will be on that stage. So at conference that year, they had said there was going to be something called Dash, which was like the top 100 earners that year. You know, it's changed a lot over the years. And I was like, oh man, it's not like a rake thing. How will I ever do that? I didn't know what top earners earned or anything like that. It was just for your earnings in April, May, and June. And I remember getting a message and a phone call from Pam in June saying that I was like in the running. And I was like, holy cow. I was one of the only triple diamonds in the entire running of it, which was crazy. And then I went presidential. And that next month at Green Carpet, 1 year to the day of being at that other Green Carpet, my first one, I walked stage as the number 56 earner to earn that trip. I claimed it into the universe. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know how I would do it, but I said, I will be on that stage next year. And I was. And that's so, so important that whatever you want, you guys, even if it's something crazy that you have zero comprehension of how that's going to happen, you need to speak it out loud. This is a little crazy story that my husband and I, right after college, we moved into like some crappy, tiny little apartment, actually not too far from where we live now. And, you know, we were barely getting by and waiting tables and trying to find jobs and all the things. And we always had to drive down this main street, which I live on now, or right off of now, and there to get to his parents' house. And there was this big house that kind of looked like a big old white barn. And I remember it was for sale that year. And I was like, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be so cool to buy that house? And he's like, that is like an old crazy house. Why would you want that? And I was like, oh, it's beautiful. And it's on this huge lot. And like this area is so incredible. He was like, Allie, like great, but like we will never live in this area. Like there were like $1 million houses going in. You know, he was like, yeah, this is like the best spot in town, but like you're out of your mind. You guys, when I'm sitting in my office, if I look out my window in my office, I can see the White House. I didn't know that I was going to live here. I probably was always looking left at the right house and never looked right at the house I live in today. But when you claim those things to the universe hears you. Whatever you believe, universe, God, spirituality, faith, wherever that is, when you speak things, you get them in return. You don't always get them immediately, right? So anyway, so I spoke that out. I ended up on stage. Then we kept growing. I kept doing the things. We decided that my husband was going to quit his job. We decided we wanted to have another baby. I mean, all the things. And my checks are just going up, 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 up. Then like that December, January, my checks cut like in half. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? You know, and I'm still making insane money. And I had like no gratitude and like no perspective at all. And by like February, you know, they start to really boom because I'm about to go ambassador in March. And then that March, my check went up huge. And then that April, that month after my first ambassador check, was still to this day the largest paycheck I've ever had. Absolutely insanity. You know, I had multiple ambassadors hit the same day as me in my downline. I mean, it was craziness. And all was great, but I was burnt out because I had not put in the self-development. I had not put in the mindset work. I was burnt out. And you guys, I hated my business. And I was 20 weeks pregnant when I promoted to ambassador. And that summer I pulled my daughter from daycare and we had the best summer ever, which I will never regret, but I did not work my business. But y'all, do we get paid tomorrow for what we do today? No. I'm getting paid today for what I did about 6 months ago, right? So that summer, I didn't work my business. That fall, I kind of got things back up and running. And I was like taking my 2.0 to diamond and all the things. So that next spring, we decided that one of our hugest goals on our dream board was to buy a second home and to buy a property. So we were looking and I had all this money saved in our tax account, our savings account and all that. We're buying this house and we're under contract. We're ready to spend just a massive amount of that savings account. But it was like, oh, but it's fine. because by tax time, we'll have just made it up. We'll have made more. We'll just say 40%, not 30%, that kind of thing, right? Oh yeah, and in the meantime, we were traveling so much. And what do you do when you travel so much? We had just limitless money. It felt like we should probably get a Southwest Airlines card because we're making all this money. We should probably travel for free, right? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys that no one ever got rich on airline miles. Just like pay for the ticket. I just see Rusty like, no, you didn't. Yeah, so and we would put everything on the Southwest card and we pay it off every month, and our credit score was great. We were doing all the things, we're buying the second home. Well, then you know what happened about 4 days after we closed on that house was my check cut in half because so much of my money had been cabs, and any cab run eventually runs out. I didn't know where my money was coming from, so I didn't see the writing on the wall. So suddenly I had put fully furnished a house on a credit card. I had just put 30% down on 100 acres and a home, draining a significant amount of our savings. Oh yeah, and I found out I was surprise pregnant with my third kid. So that dream car I bought and financed because, well, we can afford a car payment now. Now I had to trade it in for the minivan because I was going to have 2 kids in 18 months and take a total bath on that car. So I went from 3 years of living the dream, checks are just going up. We're building this great credit. We're doing all these things. We're buying the second home. Look at us. And it wasn't about the Joneses, even though my enroller was very keeping up with the Joneses. It was just, this is what you did. There was a season at Works where everyone was building homes and buying Escalades and building pools. And it just was like, oh, this is like what you do. Y'all, I was so dumb. I made $1 million and a couple months later felt more broke than I ever had felt. The credit card balance was suddenly bigger than the one when I started that we couldn't pay because my check cut in half. I suddenly had a second mortgage. A lot of my team was still there, but of course, some of my team was gone because of course they do. There's seasons. People are in your business for a reason, a season or a lifetime. But had I understood where my money was coming from, I could have done better. Y'all, when you know better, you do better. It is non-negotiable when someone on my team is a strong emerald growing to diamond that we have a one-on-one Zoom. This is personally enrolled to me, where we go through comp plan and they learn CAB bonuses and generational bonuses until so well that they can teach it back to me. I've got a fourth grader learning fractions. It's the exact same way I'm teaching them to her, right? Like it's non-negotiable because suddenly I'm having a surprise third kid, which he's lovely, but he's kind of a maniac and he's wonderful, of course. But when you're not planning it, then we had said, oh, we're going to keep our small house because we're going to go buy this other house. Well, then we're out of room. You know, a couple years later, we needed the bigger house, which we will turn this into the dream house. I can see the White House across the street, but y'all, now I know better. So I've lived in this house 3 years and my living room still has pink carpet and I still have a tacky brass and crystal chandelier in my dining room. And could I take out the home? I mean, the way the market is, could I take out the home equity line and gut and remodel the whole house? Yeah, but I'm not gonna. Because you guys, you know what happens when you start making a ton of money and you have huge credit line, like your credit score goes up? They're like, oh, here, you want a Southwest card? Let us give you like a $30,000 limit. Oh, you run a business? We'll give you one of those too. Sure. You guys, and then in the midst of all this, after third kid, postpartum depression hits. I can't even mentally like wrap my brain around dealing with the finances and stuff. So it's just, I can't have that conversation with my husband of like, we got to stop spending money and holy crap, we're in trouble and this and that. It just spiraled. And until suddenly I was like, okay, I'm crazy broke. I'm up in the middle of the night thinking about finances. Like I'm supposed to be this top earner touting this debt-free company. I felt like I was living a lie. And nobody talks about it, y'all. And it's happened to a lot of us, but no one talks about it because you know what a lot of them did? They took the easy way out and they went to another company to make a couple months of quick money. And then they had no integrity left. And then they had to go do it again. And then they had to go do it again. Because once you jump forever. You will never have a home again once you jump. So could I have done it? Absolutely. I don't think I get messages in my inbox asking me to come to other companies. Absolutely, I do. I'll give you one guess what finger I show them. Like, no, no, this is my home. I dug my hole. I know better. I can do better. It took massive amount of self-development. It took some therapy to get out of the postpartum depression. It took some really, really, really hard conversations with my husband. It took some big, ugly fights with my husband. It took sacrifices, but now I am 8 years in my business. We have a full-on Dave Ramsey snowball that we are continuing to work through at an astonishing rate. And I know that I have the capability to the moment I feel broke, I don't feel sorry for myself. I can go make money. I can go get 5 host-to-posts up. I can go coach someone on my team. I have limitless capacity to earn limitless income, and so do all of you. But I will tell you the thing that is stopping you is not your, oh, I don't manage money. Well, if you are telling yourself that you're not good with money, then you aren't going to be good with money. You're going to be broke forever. But the second you face it, you own it, and then you can do better with it. Y'all, that property we bought that like really I resented my husband and caused, like that was a huge, it was like, and I sit there still and I'm like, there's a lot of equity there. In our current snowball, as long as I keep making what I made this month or more, I turned 38 last week. I will have that entire property paid off by the time I'm 41. We bought it in 2016. So what is that? Less than 10 years? 8 years? That's 7 years? Can't do math. 8 years. 8 years. I can do math. I'm pretty green. But I kind of forgot it was 2021 there for a second. I think we're all stuck thinking it's 2020. So, I mean, I could go on. And Mel, I know you said you only wanted 30 minutes, but I could talk for hours. But what it comes down to, y'all, is what is in this financial blueprint. So I said I was raised in an upper middle class home. But what did I hear? Money doesn't grow on trees. Money is the root of all evil. We can't afford that. I don't care what we do, they do. That's not how we do things. That's such a waste. Put a 1 in the chat if you heard any of those things growing up. Right? Every single one of you should be saying it. Mm-hmm. And y'all, I don't care how much you fought it, that's in your financial blueprint. And if you want to change that, you need to read the book, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. That is where you need to start. And I don't want you to listen to it on audio casually. I don't want you to like blaze through it as you're falling asleep. I want you to buy the physical copy and get a pencil and a highlighter and study it like a textbook. It will change your life. Read it once, read it twice. It will change your financial blueprint. Y'all, I still shop at Aldi. It's because I like Aldi and because I have financial goals to hit. I used to think I have the money so I can spend the money. I want it, so I bought it, right? I want it, I buy it. That's not how it is anymore. Can I afford it? Yes. Am I choosing to afford it? I'm choosing not to purchase it because I am in control of my money. My money is no longer in control of me. I'm in control of my paycheck. I know exactly where every dime of my paycheck comes from and how to increase my paycheck because I understand my chart and I understand the comp plan. And then I understand that when prelims hit, I plug numbers into a crazy spreadsheet and I calculate exactly where every dime of my money is going to go, including how much is going to debt. When you take into, I know how much my family's going to spend on groceries. I knew that I was taking my kids on spring break last week. So I needed to budget, extra $1,000 for the fun and the eating out and stuff. But y'all, I chose to spend 2 nights in a less expensive Airbnb and only 2 nights in Great Wolf Lodge instead of 4. In the cooler, I packed stuff for breakfast instead of eating out all 3 meals a day, just 2. Because not because I can't afford breakfast out, because I chose not to. So when I go into the cute boutique and I pull this adorable shirt off the rack, that's $70. It's not, oh, I can't afford that. Or, oh my gosh, that's crazy for a shirt. It's today I'm choosing not to purchase that luxury item. I could buy it if I wanted to, but I'm making the choice not to. And you guys have to change how you speak to yourself about money, because when you do, then you're going to start believing that you can limitlessly create more. You are meant for abundance. God did not want you to be poor and struggling and anxious and depressed and upset, right? God wanted you to be abundant and to be able to limitlessly give. So who are you to tell him that he was wrong? You are designed to live an abundant, glorious, giving life. And maybe to you that looks like, oh, I saw that girl's GoFundMe and I wish I could just give $50. You can make the choice. Today, I saw that our former nanny, who was a very close friend of mine, one of her children ended up in the hospital overnight and she was looking to stay there for a week. So y'all, I Venmoed her $20 and I said, DoorDash yourself some good food or good coffee instead of sitting and eating that horrible hospital food. And it felt so good to do that. I don't need to go write a $10,000 check somewhere. I want to be able to pick up the tab at happy hour with my girlfriends because I can and because I love them. I want to be able to buy my kid a new pair of shoes because they are the right shoes, not because they were on sale. Because they're the right ones that fit his fat feet, because that's what that little toddler has. So you are designed for abundance, but you have to believe it so deeply in yourself. And y'all, it took an entire year of journaling. Pam Souter and Kay Dixon came to a retreat I had in Florida after Green Carpet in 2019. And they spoke about your mindset and they spoke about how to journal. And she said, you need to be able to so clearly visualize your dream life and then journal about it as if it has happened and how grateful you are for it. So I started doing that. And every single day in 2020, my journal said, I am so grateful for the massive abundance pouring into my life in all areas. I am so abundantly blessed with love and health and wealth and prosperity and fun and freedom. And then I would say, I am so thankful we are 100% debt-free, living in our fully renovated dream home. I am so grateful that the career I have chosen, the more I have, the more I can give. I am so grateful that I can limitlessly give and change people's lives, and I can teach people how to do the same. A whole page, you guys, every single day in 2020 until finally my mindset started to shift. It took about 6 months of writing it. So I don't want any of you saying, oh yeah, I think it, or you type it on my phone. No, you have to physically write it. That changes something in your brain. And then if you really want to level up, you need to read it out loud. And I don't care if you feel dumb, just do it. Say it out loud. And if you really, really want to trigger your subconscious, read it out loud to yourself in a mirror or record yourself and then watch it. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between a visualization and reality.
Yeah.
And the more times your subconscious hears things, the more times your brain hears things, it starts to make those connections to make those things happen.
Yeah.
Every single day I say, my inbox is overflowing with people who want to join my team. People are knocking down my door to join my team. in those days of that money struggle and him and I really having to figure out, we were buckling down and talking to our financial people and figuring out how we were consolidating all the things and getting rid of all the debt, I started speaking out and saying, money flows to me limitlessly. I'm a magnet for money. Large amounts of money show up from surprising places. Y'all, I said it out loud for 3 days, and on day 4, $600 in checks showed up in my mailbox that I didn't know were coming. The universe hears you, but you have to say it out loud, and you have to believe it yourself. You have to believe that you're limitless, and you have to know that you already have the vehicle that can get you there. Like, our comp plan's insane. I teach to my team how if you got 5 who get 5 who get 5 and everyone ran their auto ship, you could be Black Diamond 7 levels down with a team of millions. It's that simple, but you have to change your money mindset. Once you've read Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, I cannot recommend enough. Pam Souders, Rich Girl, Poor Girl. It's wonderful. And really I can credit a ton of my money mindset to her. I'm so fortunate to have a great relationship with her and a true friendship with her. And she really taught me how to change that mindset. And, Melody, I can credit so much to, because it was about a little over a year ago. We were in Nashville right before the world shut down. Yeah. And we had dinner. I texted her and I said, we are going to be in town. I would love to grab you guys for dinner. And I asked her, I said, how do you keep dreaming? How did you know what you wanted? And she told me, you got to lick the leather. I'm sure you've all heard her say it. And y'all, that helped me so much last year, because instead of just saying I wanted to renovate my dream home, I started saving pictures of the kitchen I want. I started going to an open house of a mansion to see what I wanted to live in. I licked the leather. I felt the marble countertop. I can shut my eyes and I can envision exactly what I'm going to turn this home into. We bought the pink carpet and the wallpaper and the brass chandeliers because we knew what we could turn this home into. And I licked the leather so I can keep dreaming it. And you guys, you have to do that, because if you don't have that clear dream, then you don't have any reason to be abundant.
That's right. Gosh, that's good.
Sorry, I could just keep talking. I told you, my second one on money mindset, I'm all fired up.
I could just keep listening. I know everybody is they're so appreciating you just being truthful, you being transparent and admitting mistakes. I mean, that's the first step into getting set free, is to look back and say, wow, I messed up, and realizing it, owning it, and then do something about it. And I love that you guys you tackled it head on, and that could destroy people. It can destroy marriages. Mm-hmm. It can destroy a person. It can destroy a family. Debt is, people don't argue about having too much money, right? They don't ever argue about having too much. So that's the biggest thing that comes between a husband and wife, is finances, the lack of.
The number one thing that causes divorce in the United States is financial struggle. And you guys, shut up. I was depressed. We were fighting. It was awful. It was awful. But I faced it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I told Cammie a few weeks ago, I said, I'd recently heard that said, don't tell your story, tell it your testimony. And this has been on my heart for so long. And I was so embarrassed. So embarrassed. How could I be this multi-million top earner and be freaking broke?
You're broke at all levels.
You're broke at all levels.
Yeah.
And and you better not compare to the Joneses, because you have no idea if that $1 million mansion down the street is, they might have $0 in their bank account.
Yep. Yeah, you never know what's going on in people's lives. Don't ever judge somebody thinking, "Oh, well, they've already got it made. They've got the great house. They drive the great car." You don't know that they weren't praying just that very day or that night saying there has to be another way. They're in debt up to their eyeballs, and or they have no time because they're working all the time to just keep their head above, drowning. And so, you just never know. And I appreciate this so much. I appreciate that you teach the comp plan. We used to do it all the time. I mean, I'm serious. I learned the comp plan from Mark Pentecost himself. He used to get up on a board and draw circles on how this money worked. And it would get me excited every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really so simple. It truly is. And we tend to complicate it. And we've gotten so far away from not even talking about the comp plan. And that just started a fire in me to start doing regular comp plan training. Does that sound good, Carissa? Are you okay with that? Yeah, she's okay with that. She's my girl. So I know the comp plan. I used to teach it frontwards and backwards because I learned it from Mark. And I'm not a numbers person at all, but I did learn that comp plan. And, that was my aha for tonight was you got to be teaching it. You got to make sure people understand how to make the money. Because if they don't know what they're doing, how just making a couple of little corrections, knowing the comp plan could really make a difference in their business and raise their paycheck. So, wow, Allie, I appreciate you so much. You guys, I don't know if you know, but she sprained her back at the gym and she's in the bed, but she's still smiling. She's smiling through the pain.
I took a lot of a leave before the Zoom. No, but I did. I said my office chair, like it was compressing my back and it hurt so bad. And I was like, okay, I can't sit in my office. So I actually posted a picture. You'll have to go to my page and because it's public, but like my laptop is right now sitting on a laundry basket. So it's at a high enough level. My ring light is over here and I have like all these pillows propped behind me. Yeah, just doing something I do every day at the back, just landed at the gym, landed the wrong way. And sprained my back. Didn't even know that was a thing. But I told my husband, I said, it doesn't feel like I turned 38. It says I feel like I turned 83 because I'm like walking around like ice in my back all day. But
God,
you know what? You guys, like, that's just it. I sprained my back and I laid on my side on a giant beanbag of my children. So it was the only place I could be comfortable today. And I worked on my phone all day. Like, are you joking me with this blessing of this business? No sick time, no comp time, no missing work for doctor's appointments. I texted my chiropractor last night and said, I screwed something up bad. And he's like, can you be here at 11:15? I didn't even have to look at my calendar to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter's school was closed today because a water main broke. Like, things are going to happen. And like, I could say yes. I still got all my host posts up from my laying on my side on a beanbag in my playroom. Like, and now I'm working from my bed because I can.
Yeah.
And y'all, when you believe in this business and its capacity, you will believe that you can do anything.
Yeah.
But you have to know that you're worthy of it. And that money is, you gotta stop thinking money is evil because money does so much good.
Yeah.
So much money, you can do so much good in this world.
Yeah. So true. Allie, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. I'm sending you big hugs.
Oh, I miss you guys. I miss everybody in person so much. And I just cannot wait till we're all back in person.
Yeah. Well, you're just 5 hours up the road from me. So.
Oh, I know. We actually, I'll message you. I think we're doing Nashville this fall. So.
All right. Well, you better come see me.
Oh, I will. I will. I got to see that lake house finally.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Allie. Appreciate you.